What is up, YouTube? Hope you guys having a wonderful day. I wanted to make a video about what's going on. Well, I came across another revelation about working a job, finding your job, or or as what most influencers say, finding your passion in this life. So, without a doubt, if you go on YouTube, you go on Instagram, or somebody who is successful in their life, who makes lots of money, has a lot of free time, do whatever they want, and you want that lifestyle, right? Because that's what their job is. They're selling you a lifestyle, so that way you may or may not buy their course, or follow them, watch all of their videos, give them that revenue, make them more rich and more influential on their platform, or whatever reason why you're following them. Oh, bless you. The one thing I could say about what I've realized working in a 9 to 5 factory, or just an entry level job in general, from the age of 16 to now 25, going to 26. So I've been doing this shit for about 10 years now. I've worked in warehouses, factories, uh, restaurants. I've even worked in the gym. I've done construction, but the only jobs I haven't done were retail, call centers, and became a successful entrepreneur. When I say successful, I mean you're able to have a consistent amount of income that's, profit, not, overhead costs or all that, extra stuff that nobody wants to talk about, where they just sell you crumbs. But like, the real money after every expense has been paid. I have not, got to that point in my life. But luckily for me, like I've always said before, I can always try it, but I just don't have the time right now. Because, everybody has their starting pace at a different, time in life. And, if you've been on TikTok, Instagram, or any social media platform, you'll see all these like motivational videos. Like, most millionaires don't become millionaires until like they're 60 years old or 50. But I mean, let's be honest here. You can't work any of the jobs that I listed and become a millionaire. Well, you can, but it takes a lot of grit, self-discipline, and a lot of emotional support to get to that point. And what I'm trying to say is that I've worked at this factory for about 2 years now, and I'm going on 2 years and 3 months. And this is like the longest job I've ever had in my life. And without a doubt, the only reason why I'm actually here this long is because my area lead or team lead has stood out to me out of every job I've been to. Every job I've been to, I always have like, these annoying bosses. I mean, I have these bosses who just see you as a number. They don't actually see you as a individual who actually wants to, put in that effort and time. My bad. They don't want to put in that emotional investment into you, because they just know that eventually you're going to leave and it wouldn't matter. My area lead or team lead is quite the opposite. He is similar like me. He has a strong work ethic, but except he's already made it on the other side. He has I don't want to talk about him too much, but let's just say he has his empire, he has a business, and he works here. He works at the same factory as I do. He's pulling in at least 200K a year after taxes, at least. So yeah, that's very motivational if you're around that. And the saying, if you want to get richer, be around rich people, not around broke people. Or if you're the richest one in your group, or the strongest, or the most physically fit, then you're in the cage, or you're not really gonna move anywhere. You're just gonna be like the same birds, that flock together. And it hit me, and I was like, you know, I don't think anybody could do this job. I really think this is a stepping stone to get to where you need to be in life. Because the fact that I've been here for 2 years, I make $27 an hour, and I'm still pulling in $700 a week of a 40-hour check. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. I'm just saying that $700 during these times is not cutting it if you want to, like, get somewhere in life. This is really just stretching it to just get by. In other words, surviving. Because any person who has any common sense knows that this job is not healthy long term. It's meant to break you down. It's meant to make you think of other things to do, so that way, you're not getting into this like treadmill of poverty. And it's really sad. Like, you see 40, 50-year-olds working here and they're like, yeah, man, I've been here for like 20 years. It's the same shit. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to be like you, no offense, but I have time on my hand and I'm not trying to be like you. But I feel like with them is that in the world's greatest country on this planet Earth, they get paid to have kids and they get that extra, income on their paycheck. So they look the other way instead of moving up in their life. Because, they got other things to focus on. Like, for example, their kids or their wife. But for me, on the other hand, and many other people in this world who still haven't, got shit together, they got a woman they can settle down with, or a person they can settle down with, have kids, or got their whole life planned out. We're still trying to figure things out. And the thing that I've realized that hit me yesterday after all this overwhelming stress is that there is no such thing as a dream passionate job. It's a job that you as a person can tolerate and manage your stress throughout your time while you're working that job, or the job in general. Because you can't expect to be a therapist and get paid like $10,000 a month and not be stressed out. Like $10,000 and being a therapist, I mean, it's good on paper, but you don't know how much of you have to soak in. You don't know how much information you have to do to help these people, or being a doctor, a nurse, or anything like that. I feel like that's where passion comes in, because it makes you, keeps you going. It keeps the gears oiled up so you can keep moving forward. But eventually, anybody who has a work ethic, you're going to burn out. I feel like in this day and time, I wish school would teach us how to be more, school would teach us more, teach us to be more, more resilient against stress, especially emotional stress. Because I've worked out. I've go to the gym and train 3 to 5 days a week. I eat healthy, but I'm still like hitting the wall. I'm still hitting this like dark cloud of distress haunting me. Sleep is all right, but sometimes it's like you don't even want to come back to work. And then you hear information about like jobs like being a nurse, where they'll pay you like $50 to $100 an hour just to even show up, and then here they are making like $2,000 in like 3 to 4 days. That's not my exact number, but if you understand where I'm coming from, $700 a week compared to $2,000 3 to 4 days, that's worth the investment. It's like, why the hell are you even here at the factory or warehouse or wherever you're at as an entry-level job? There's no point. You're wasting your time. And my message is that money does play a role in this life, but most importantly, it's how long you do your job. It's the durability of how long you last in this lifetime. It is not how much money you have in the bank account. Don't get me wrong, $10,000, $20,000 in the bank account while you're stressed out does hit a certain way. But most importantly, being stress-free, carefree, and being able to wake up and have, just like have your blessings all counted for, and being grateful and feeling good, and, be able to move on with life is more important, if I gotta be honest. Not saying money isn't important. It's just that it's not the all be all. It won't solve all of your problems, but it will help you to get to the solution to your problems if you're smart and aware of who you are and where you're going in life. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later.